Guys, Whitehall finished each of the last 2 regular seasons with a perfect 9-0 record, and each time the Vikings off with a win against Unity Christian. So could they do it again? Start of the first quarter, Whitehall with the ball, and they are ready to start the season off with a victory. Camden Thompson with the pass to Cordy Anderson. He stumbles but manages to make it in the end zone. Whitehall's up 7-0. Second quarter now, the Crusaders try and even the score. Nolan Weiss weaves his way through for a touchdown. UC is up 8-7. Crusaders are feeling hot now, but can they keep the streak going? Yes, they can. The ball's back in the end zone for another touchdown for Unity Christian. Crusaders widen the lead 15-7. The Vikings still can't make anything happen. UC keeps the lead 22-7 now at the half. UC keeping the energy up at the start of the third. Huge pass from Jackson DeHope to Isaac Steenstra for the catch, and he keeps on going. 40 yards to the end zone. Crusaders break Whitehall's typical Game 1 winning streak, 43-21, the final. Guys, West Ottawa used to play Zeeland High School all the time, but when that one school split into 2, the rivalry was put on a hiatus until the Panthers met the Ducks tonight. First quarter, the Ducks are on the 5 and slide in for a touchdown from Ander Vanderswag. Zeeland is up 8-0. Still in the first, the Panthers try and close that early lead. Huge pass from Connor Knapp, and it's complete to Ruben Esparza, and he runs it all the way to the end zone. Huge pass there. Touchdown for the Panthers, but Zeeland West keeps the lead 8-6. West Ottawa is still trying to bridge that gap. Another stellar pass from Connor Knapp, and this time Abel Anaya, and he almost makes it. Panthers now only a few yards from the end zone. Caden Forbes struggles but manages to push and shove his way through for another Panthers touchdown. But the Ducks have their eyes on the prize. A massive run from Keaton Hendricks all the way from the 23rd yard line, and he brings it in for another touchdown. Zeeland West takes the victory 42-22 over the Panthers. Jacob, this was a non-conference showdown between 2 undefeated teams. The Hawks made this road trip hoping for their first ever win against the Crusaders. First quarter, Isaac Steenstra sneaks through for an easy touchdown, but they missed the 2-point conversion. The score is 6-0. And the Crusaders are feeling hot, starting the game off strong with a touchdown. But the Hawks are ready to even the score. Max Farrick with the catch off the kick, and he is running. And he keeps on going all the way to the end zone. Hawks in the lead now, 7-6. But Isaac Steenstra is back in the game, and he's ready to take back the lead. A throw from Jackson DeHoop, and he rockets back into the end zone. Crusaders are up again, 14-7. Crusaders are loving this early lead, and they have no signs of stopping. DeHoop now on his way, weaving through to the end zone, and Unity Christian keeps that lead. Another touchdown for DeHoop, and Crusaders are on fire. Unity Christian wins 44-20. Two of the last 3 games between these 2 schools were decided by a touchdown or less. Tonight was the 30th meeting between Jenison and Hudsonville, and the Eagles are ready to bring home a win. They absolutely dominate in the first half, finishing at 24-0 for the Wildcats. But the Wildcats have their head in the game, and they are not backing down. A touchdown from Brody Skytman, and the score is 24-6. But the Eagles are ready to bring this one home. A huge run and a touchdown now for Hudsonville, and they continue to widen their lead 31-6. Now end of the third quarter, and Hudsonville has this game in the bag. Fourth quarter, Hudsonville is off and running again. Another run from Brady Lake and a touchdown for the Eagles. Hudsonville brings home a win over the Wildcats. Final score 38-6. In all fairness, Grand Haven has had a tough time with the Scots. Caledonia joined the OK Red in 2016, and they've beaten Grand Haven in all of 1 of their meetings. But with tonight being Buck Pride Night, there was no better time to try and buck that trend. First quarter, Andrew Williamson goes for it, making the wide run all the way to the end zone. Bucks are up early in the first quarter. But the Scots are ready to strike back. Betsy Broder goes for the touchdown, and the Bucks can't stop it. After a stumble and a flip, he lands in the end zone. Scots catching up now, score is tied 8-8. But the Bucks get it back on their end of the field. A throw from Luke Berry and Will Kormstra with the incredible catch. Grand Haven takes the lead again, 14-8. But that lead doesn't stick. Brody Betzer with a throw to Aaron Collins. Xavier Rodriguez tries to take him down, but he's too late. Scots score 15-14, and they keep the streak going. Another great throw from Brody Betzer, and Lincoln Senti with the jump and grab, and he lands the touchdown. Caledonia wins, final score 36-28. These 2 teams played each other tonight for the first time since 2019. GR Christian would get off to a flying start. First drive, Eagles are in the red zone when Tony Phillips takes the handoff, cuts to his left, makes two men miss, and he's in for the touchdown to give his team the early 6-0 lead. But it was all Hawks from there. On the following drive, Max Barrick punches it, and after the two-point conversion, Eastern led 8-6. Then one of the craziest runs we have seen all season. Jordan Shabazz looks like he's going to be brought down near midfield, but somehow evades an entire group of Eagles defenders. Then manages to tiptoe down the sidelines, and he's gone so fast the camera can't even catch up. What a run! And it was 16-6 Forest Hills Eastern. The Hawks would strike again on their next drive with another touchdown run from Farrick. Eastern cruises to a huge 51-6 victory. These schools are only 20 minutes apart, but tonight was their first time meeting since 1979. The Sailors came into this one looking to defeat their undefeated record, but the Rangers are ready to break their streak. They lead the game at the end of the first half, 26-6. But the Sailors are looking for a comeback. Carson Weiss with the drive, weaving his way through the defense for a huge up. Next drive, the Sailors barrel their way through the line into the end zone, and FHC can't manage to stop them. But the Rangers are still in the lead, 26-13. The ball now back in the Rangers' hands, a long throw from Nick Williams to Max Hostler, and he takes it and flies towards the end zone for another Rangers touchdown. FHC takes the win at home, breaking South Christian's undefeated streak. Final score, 34-13. After conference realignment, tonight was one of the first times these two teams have squared off ever on the gridiron. Both teams are coming off of big wins from last week, but the Hawks are ready for another victory at home. Second quarter, a snap to Brendan Thompson, who gives a quick pass to Max Farrick, and he takes off. He's got defenders breathing down his neck, but he makes it all the way into the end zone from the 40-yard line. The Hawks are a touchdown up and going for a two-point conversion. Brendan Thompson now dropping the ball, but manages to catch it. He looks back for his target and throws a deep ball to Kendrick Penkovic. He makes the catch, but the ref later rules it's no good. But the touchdown stays, and FHE is up 7-0. The Hawkeyes try and catch up on the early lead in the second half, but can't make it happen. Forest Hills Eastern wins, final score 28-7.
I was there as Unity hosted the Sailors tonight.
Yeah, Jacob, the OK Gold is tough. South Christian was undefeated 2 weeks ago, and they're trying to prevent their third straight loss. Tonight was the first meeting for these two teams since the 2022 district title game. Unity started off strong in the first half, 23-14. Then to start the second, a huge run from Isaac Steenstra, and Max Vancouvering finishes it off on the following drive. Crusaders are up 29-14. Unity takes possession again on the 34, and once again, Vancouvering brings it home. The Crusaders widen the lead 36-14. But the Sailors are not backing down. A great throw from Carson Weiss to Chuck DeHaan. He goes to run it up the sidelines, but gets knocked out of bounds. But to follow it up on the next play, Weiss with another deep throw to Tyler Brinks, and he makes the catch. Sailors score, making it 36-21. But the Crusaders get it back in their hands. Nolan Viss ducks and runs all the way into the end zone. South Christian put up a great fight, but Unity brings home the win 50-21 and stays undefeated. Jacob, Hudsonville was looking to snap a 5-game losing streak against the Bulldogs. It was the 36th all-time meeting between these two conference foes, and Hudsonville came out swinging. Bryce Fox barrels through for an early touchdown, and the Eagles take the lead 7-zip. But the Bulldogs don't let that lead stick. Jaden Terry gets his hands on the ball and goes for it, making it past the defense and running all the way into the end zone to tie it up in the first quarter. Second quarter now, and Hudsonville wants to take that lead back. Owen Harmsma with the ball, and he takes off, booking it towards the end of the field. An incredible run from Harmsma, and the Eagles are up 14-7. And that scoring streak continues. Connor Brintahl with the great throw to Brandon Van Lake. He almost gets tripped up by the defense, but he makes it into the end zone for another Eagles touchdown. The Bulldogs can't stop him, and Hudsonville wins 35-16. And if they could, it would mark the Sailors' first outright conference title since 2020. It was the 51st meeting between these two longtime Muskegon County rivals, and the Sailors came out strong looking for their 8th win tonight. Start of the first quarter, Jonathan Pittman with the carry. He takes it right through the middle and runs it all the way to the end zone, putting the Sailors up with the early lead 6-0. But the Rockets aren't letting that first score get them down. Mason Dark takes it wide, makes a fantastic run, passing defender after defender until he finally gets taken down. The Rockets can't make it to the end zone, but they aren't letting the Sailors go home with an easy win. Second quarter now, Pittman is back and makes a great throw to Micah Carafell, and he sneaks around the defense with an impressive run up the line. And the Sailors are not letting anything get past them tonight. Pittman with the pitch to Tyrese McCorvey-Hill now, and he keeps on going, driving through the defense for another Sailors touchdown. Mona Shores dominates the game, winning 40-0.
Our Maddie Monroe was there when Ravenna traveled to Oak Ridge, and she joins us now with all the highlights.
Yeah, Jacob, these teams came in tonight in position to make it to the playoffs, but a lot can happen in 2 weeks, so you have to keep winning. It was the 58th meeting between these two West Conference squads, and Oak Ridge finishes the first half up by 6, and they are ready to widen that lead. Third quarter, the Eagles are only 3 away from the line, but don't quite make it over. But on the following drive, Bryson Stevenson brings it home. Score is 13-0. And the Eagles keep the lead over the Bulldogs through the end of the third quarter. But the Bulldogs try and even that score. A great pass from Brady Kucharski to James Starr, but he gets knocked out of bounds way towards the end there. But at the end of the day, Oak Ridge brings it home. Jordan McGrady pushes past the defense for another Eagles touchdown, and they take home the win 24-0. It would make both teams feel better about their playoff chances tonight, especially the Hawkeyes, who came into tonight right above the cut line in Division 4. It was the 22nd meeting between these two neighboring school districts, and the Chicks are ready to rumble coming into this matchup. But the Hawkeyes are putting up a fight. Early in the first quarter, Jaron Bronkhorst rams through the line for the touchdown run, barely crossing over that line, but they make it, and Hamilton is up 7-0. But the Chicks are geared up to even that score. Jack Camphouse nearly gets taken down early in the drive, but manages to get past the defense and runs it all the way to the house. Fantastic run for the Chicks as they narrow the lead to 2. The score is 10-8. And that is just the beginning for Zeeland East. A great run from Isaac Boonstra, and he nearly makes it into the end zone. Getting closer to the end of the line, and the Chicks are feeling it. A next drive, a great throw from Will Drank, and Kobe Miller is wide open as he brings it in for another Chicks touchdown. Zeeland East wins 28-16. And coming into this season, Holland hasn't won a game in over 2 years, but a victory tonight would earn the Dutch their first winning season since 2017. They even have a small shot at the playoffs, depending on how things go across the state. First things first, though, Holland would have to beat Godwin Heights, and the Dutch are ready to bring home that win. They finished the first half on top, 24-18. Jacob Torres then gaining some ground early in the third. Amari Powell following it up with the carry, but gets knocked out of bounds after a great run. Holland keeps pushing it further and further down that line, though, looking to put some more points on the board. Then a great throw from Powell, and they make the catch, running it all the way into the end zone, adding the score to the board. The Dutch widen the lead, 31-18. But the Wolverines aren't letting them get by without a fight. Great carry from Godwin Heights, and they are bringing it home now, 31-24. But the Dutch aren't going to let that one slide. Jacob Torres, again with a fantastic run, gets tackled at the very last second, but manages to make it in for another Holland touchdown. The Dutch take the win, dominating the Wolverines 48-24. These two teams played each other 3 weeks ago, and Kennewa won by only 2 points. So tonight the Broncos were out for revenge. It was the only conference game Coopersville lost all year, and after the team's last matchup in Grand Rapids, the Broncos are looking to rebound on their own turf. Coopersville dominates in the first half, 25-0, but the Knights aren't letting that score get in their way. London Hampton slides through for the first points on the board, and feeling hot now with the ball back in the Hamptons' hands once again with the 15-yard touchdown run, putting the score 32-19. But even with the runs from Kennewa Hills, the Broncos are still crushing it this time around. A great throw from Bo Harris, and that is why he's an MVP. Brooks Haddon makes the catch, and there's no stopping him as he gets it in the end zone. Then the Knights have it back on their end of the field, but a fumble is recovered by the Broncos, and that seals the deal. Coopersville wins 39-13. Coopersville will go on to face the winner of another rematch between East Grand Rapids and Forest Hill Central. The Rangers won a defensive battle 7-0. Yeah, that's right, Jacob. The Falcons beat the Eagles 45-0 in the same round of the playoffs last year. Time to see if West could do it again and advance to the district finals. And the Falcons are coming out hot. Start of the first, a great throw to David Brittenfeld, and he makes it into the end zone, putting them at an early lead over the Eagles, 7-0. But Oak Ridge is ready for a comeback. Logan Huston now with the 5-yard carry in for a touchdown, narrowing the Falcons' lead 13-7. But West isn't letting that slide. A great throw from Grady Augustin to Gabe Schwieters, and he knocks off the defenders and runs it in for another Falcons touchdown. Towards the end of the second quarter now, another amazing throw from Augustin to Luke Redlinski, and he makes the score. The Falcons win 32-14.
Your Sidelines MVP of the Week, sponsored by Rant Insurance.
That's right. 1 week from today, we'll be telling you who the nominees are for the 13 On Your Sidelines MVP of the Year. But let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. We have one more MVP of the Week award to give out first. The nominees this week include Portland running back Nolan Zibitowski. Last week, he had 144 running yards and 4 touchdowns as the Red Raiders thumped Whitehall. Next up, we have Holland quarterback Amari Powell. He had 95 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns as the Dutch beat Godwin Heights. He also ran 100 yards on that night. And finally, we have Belding running back Cody Manley. He had 142 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Black Knights as they shut out Hopkins and secured their 4th straight OK Silver championship. West Michigan, you voted, and with 65% of the vote, Belding's Cody Manley is our MVP of the week. Let's send it back over to Jacob, who is live with the man himself, Cody Manley. Yeah, Jacob, these two teams met in their regional title game 2 years ago, and it was a thrilling 28-21 win for the Sailors, who went on to win the state title. And the energy in this stadium tonight was electric, so we'll see who can come out on top this time around. First quarter, and you already know who it is. We've been saying his name all season. Carson Viss with the ball, and he is weaving his way around defenders left and right looking for a pass. And he makes it to Chuck DeHaan, and he brings it home for the first points on the board. The Sailors are up 7-0. But the Vikings don't let that lead last long. Camden Thompson now with the carry, and he runs it all the way down the line into the end zone, tying it up 7-7. But Viss again with the throw, and what an arm on this kid. Tyler Brinks with an amazing catch on the corner of the end zone, and the Sailors are back in the lead 14-7. But more pressure now from Whitehall as they are back in the red zone. Gavin Craner with the carry, and he slams his way in for a touchdown, and the score is tied up again 14-14. But that tie is quickly broken in the fourth quarter. Castian Van Solkema brings it in for the win. South Christian wins 28-21 for Whitehall for the second time.